Hello again, everybody. It's been a while since I posted a video. COVID's happened. 2 years since that all happened, and I've actually got COVID today myself. So I thought, what better time to celebrate the fact that I'm not allowed to go on holiday to see my friends in Belfast. I thought I would come down the end and just do this very quick disassembly of a Nikon F2 top cover, specifically the top right cover where all the good stuff is. So that's what we're going to do. Hope everybody's well. More of these to come. So let's get started. Okay, first thing we need to do, make sure the prism's off, make sure the body cap is off, and we just need to remove this front Nikon plate here. Very simple. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. Okay, once all those screws are off, the metal facade will, hopefully, a little bit of teasing, no pressure needed, but there we go. That will just lift off, put that to one side. And then we can go back to the top cover here. So we're moving the top right hand cover here. There's one screw here that can go straight away. Remember to put them in a place where you can find them later and they will go back in the same place. Okay, that's screw gone. The next thing to do is to remove the cap on the film advance lever. You just need a bit of friction to do this. There are no screws in it and it unscrews anti-clockwise. It's a regular left-hand thread. I use a little bit of rubber or sometimes a examination glove on my left hand and just push down and twist it. In fact, let's give that a go. With enough pressure and enough friction. There we go. It should unscrew. So there it is unscrewing. Good. Put that to one side. Underneath there we've got 4 regular left-handed thread screws. Let's get rid of those. With those screws removed, the film advance lever will just come off. Keep it with those screws for safekeeping. Underneath the film advance lever, there's a little slotted nut that needs to come off. So you can use something like a spanner wrench or a small precision screwdriver, of course, making sure not to get any marks on the work that you're doing. Very important. What am I going to use? I am going to use this spanner wrench. Just line it up with the slots. No big pressure because you don't want to slip and scratch. Once it's loosened like that, I tend to prefer to do it with my fingers or something non-marking, so I might wear a glove again or something like that. There you go, that nut comes off. Keep it with the film advance lever. Okay, next thing to do is the shutter speed dial. This has got 3 screws around the base of the perimeter that all need to come off. I keep the shutter speed at a 60th for this, just because it's easy to get access to all 3 screws. So let's give that a go. And one thing to bear in mind is you don't need to fully take out these grub screws, just loosen them until the shutter speed dial comes off. Then you can keep all of the little grub screws in the right places. Put that somewhere, very nice. The next bit, and potentially a tricky bit, because it often is fixed on quite tight, you need a little bit of gentle persuasion to get it off. But inside the shutter button ring here, there's another notched nut sitting down below the shutter button. So inside that perimeter there, that needs to come off to remove the entire shutter button housing. So again, if you've got a very fine spanner wrench that will put 2 points in there, a little bit of pressure, again, normal left hand unscrew counterclockwise thread. That's the way to get that out. I'm going to do this with just a pointed tool and hopefully it won't be that stuck in. It isn't that stuck in. Your experience may vary. But then again, once I've got that loosened, again taking care not to scratch, just very gently unscrew counterclockwise until that comes out. Okay, and with that loosened, we can take that nut out. There it is. Then we can take the crown or the rotating bezel to time and lock can be taken off. There is a spring inside there that can stay with it, and then often attached to the bottom, which isn't in this case, is another little locking washer. If I take that out, I'll show you what it looks like. No, I'm not going to take that out and show you what it looks like. What I'm going to do first is remove the top cover, which I can now do by pulling upwards, gently, gently. Nothing attached to the underside, so you're clean to go. And now I can show you that other locking washer that sits underneath the locking collar. And there it is. And that can only go back in one way. There's a little detent here that marries up to the pin here next to the shutter counter. So that goes back on first, and then the locking collar goes on. And that's it. We've got our F2 top right cover removed, and we can go about tinkering.